So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a dick theater. I've imagined your friend.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do this.
We're not sluts.
We just love love.
Join us on The Wet Coast, a podcast about sexuality and ethical non-monogamy of every variety. We talk polyamory and swinging, monogamish and open relationships, from dirty, dirty sex to heartbreak and everything in between. We share our personal experiences and philosophy, observations and theories, what works for us, and where we fucked it right up. This isn't your average couple's Explanabrag podcast, though we definitely do a little of that. We share our adventures in open with a unique, funny, feminist, and Canadian approach. Come get wet with us on the Wet Coast.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, hi.
This is Angela.
And this is still Bradford.
Yes, and you have found us here again on By the By.
Welcome back.
Yes, we've missed you. You look confused.
I'm confused how I miss my listeners. I miss my listeners, but how?
Yeah.
How did I do that?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
That's okay.
Okay.
So we're going to... first we should talk about upcoming events.
Oh my God. You know, I realized today an event that we have neglected to tell people about.
Which is?
Your birthday.
Yes.
We keep forgetting to tell people about your birthday party. Which, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it's tomorrow.
Yep.
Angela's birthday is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having a gangbang at our secret spot.
Yeah.
In celebration of...
Turning 40.
The big 4-0. So she's having
I'm happy about it.
A big 4-0 party.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you are in Sydney and have nothing to do tomorrow night, come on down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
apparently you can have sex with a celebrity, according to Red Hot Pie and their listing for it, which I think is adorable.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're a single male, there are rules and procedures to follow. It's all on the website.
But you can come.
Yes, you can come. And if you're a couple or a single female, by all means, come along.
Yeah.
It's not just me who gets to enjoy and participate. I'm happy to share the love. It's all about sharing.
It's so sweet. Yeah. Kind of...
It'll be a fun night.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited because I don't feel like there's any pressure on me at all. It's kind of awesome. I just get to sort of tap in and tap out people.
Uh-huh.
All right, you out, you in.
Just make sure there's always a cock in hand, in mouth, in body.
I'm kind of excited to see what happens here and how it works. We're going to do like a take a number system or,
just bring them all.
All at the same time, huh?
Well, yeah.
Because you only have so many, parts.
To play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Also, I guess it depends on how comfortable everybody is near each other and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we know the gentleman's going to be there, and he's pretty comfortable around everyone. So, worst case scenario, you'll always have him, and you'll always have me. Or maybe that's the best case scenario. Woo! So, yeah, we've got that. Next, after that, would be again, and if you're listening to this the day it comes out, 9 more days, and we have the big podcast meet and greet party. But meet the podcasters.
Meet and mingle, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be Kate from Swinging Down Under, and we've got Mr. and Mrs. H from the Bedhoppers down from the UK. We've got a slut coming over from New Zealand.
Yes,
New
Simon.
Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for all that. And then we've got Naughty and Rocket coming over from Perth. They are I'm going to call them they are Twitter famous. And then we got Lolo Lady coming in. It's going to be a big meet and greet of peoples that you've either tweeted at or Instagrammed or or heard on podcasts.
Yeah, and it is going to be starting a little bit earlier than the normal Our Secret Spot Meet and Mingle, so it'll be run a bit in conjunction, but we're going to start earlier. So we're probably around 6:30 or so. That way we can finish up in time for the Pendulum Party.
Which starts at 8:30.
Yes. So the OSS Meet and Mingle will continue on until the normal, 10:30, something like
Right.
that. But we're going to go over to get Pendulum started bright and early at 8:30.
Bright and early at 8:30 p.m. Bright and
Yes,
early
yes.
at 8:30 p.m.
Exactly.
Yeah, so pretty stoked for that. It's Pendulum 10. I'm already trying to get in my head what I'm going
Yeah.
to wear. I don't know what that's going to be yet.
I haven't even thought about any of this.
I have. I always, that's all I think about. So yeah, pretty excited for that.
And then Saturday, May 18th, we're going to be out in Perth along with Mr. and Mrs. H from the Bedhoppers.
That's right.
And
Once again, Naughty and Rocket.
and Swinging Out West.
Yep.
They're the podcast and the Swinging Out West podcasters. They're going to be joining us. So if anybody would like to come out for some drinks and to meet all of us, send us a message, and we will let you know where to go.
Yeah, that we're gonna. Currently, the bar is set at TBD, which I
Yes.
think should be the name of a bar. If I owned a bar, I'd call it TBD. Like, oh, we're gonna have drinks at TBD because we've yet to figure out where the hell we're going. As soon as we do, we'll let you know. So yeah, it's Perth. It's not a huge city, so
No.
it should be pretty easy to find. We're the ones laughing and being raucous. Mm-hmm. So yeah, pretty stoked for that. And
Yeah.
then after that, we have a bit of a break.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll fill it in, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
but
pretty sure, yeah.
But there's nothing that is set in stone yet until November 2nd to 9th. Swing Set Takes Desire.
Yes.
So we'll be back in Cancun, Mexico for that. And we do have a few couples from Australia going.
Australia.
And yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I know that they are, around 65% booked?
Yes, 69%, I think now.
Oh, 69%. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I think they were
love it.
they were all
Yeah.
excited because they're like, we hit 69.
That's awesome. So yeah, it is booking up. I know it sounds like it's far away, but it will book up. And
Yeah.
so if you're interested, go ahead and contact.
Jump on it.
Yeah, go ahead and contact Char Travel. Get in touch with the Swing Set crew. Get in touch with us. We can put you in touch with all of
Yeah.
them. Everything's on our webpage, so you can go there and find
Pretty
it.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I get to perform a wedding there.
Uh-huh.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So there might be a couple that's
Oh, yeah.
considering getting married there, and
Uh-huh.
I really want to be the one to officiate.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I can do the whole dearly beloved thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And how many little inappropriate innuendos can you throw in?
I will. If I find out that I can do it, I promise no less than 30. I can do
I love it. That's great.
Yeah. So pretty excited for that. It's going to be here before you know it.
I know.
It's like 187 days away.
Not that anybody's counting or anything.
I count. I do count. So yeah, pretty stoked for that.
Yeah.
So, how you doing?
Good, good.
What are we talking about tonight?
So we're going to talk about some things that have been going on, and a little bit of some headspace things.
Ooh, great. Back to the headspace
Yeah.
stuff. Like, constant podcast listeners are like, ooh, great. Shocker. They're talking about Bradford's headspace.
Yeah, I did want to start with Club V. So the last
yeah.
Club V was April 18th. It was the Thursday of the long Easter weekend.
Oh, by the way, if you're in the States, we get long weekends where we get both Easter Monday and Good Friday off. It's a 4-day weekend. It's epic.
It's epic. And then depending on where Easter falls, this year it happened to fall right before or in the same week as Anzac Day. So April 25th. So we had 2 days of work, a day off, and a day off. Or if you took those 3 days off, you ended up with a 10-day break.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I love this place.
Australia.
So it was the Thursday of the Easter long weekend. And I was kind of curious to see how it was because it was both a Thursday, which is, typically a harder day to get people out on.
Yes.
And it was a long weekend. And so some people go away. It also means that some people come to Sydney. So wasn't really sure what the crowd would be like, how many people there would be. And we ended up, I thought, pretty good. It was not as big a crowd as the other ones have been, but it was, I think, somewhere in the mid to upper 30s as far as the number of women that came out. So that was pretty good. I think
That's not bad.
before we've been around 60, 70.
Okay.
So, a little more than half, but to me, that was a comfortable crowd where you could really kind of talk to and interact with everybody, or at least a large proportion of the people. There was play space, because what I've found is that when it's only women, we take up a lot more bed space than when there are men involved. And so it was, a lot easier to find some spaces to play and that kind of thing.
That's always nice. I mean, it's always fun when the club is bubbly and full of people, but it's also kind of nice when the club is comfortably full.
Yeah.
And where you can find your own space and you can find areas to sit and have a chat with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. And there were a fair number of new people who had not been to a Club V before, so that was really exciting. Met at least a handful of people and talked to them for quite a while that were new and really interesting. And just had some really good chats and things with them. And I ended up playing first, though, with there was a lady who's been to several other Club Vs. Mm-hmm. There was another good friend of ours. Well, I guess two other friends of ours. And so we it started off with the three of us up in the playroom together. And then one of our friends, she came and joined up as well. So it ended up being kind of four of us in that little play session. And there were some others, we were up in the orgy room, and there were some others on basically the other side of the bed. And it's so funny because the orgy room has those 2 king-size beds. And as play happens, the beds kind of separate a little bit.
Yeah, you get that canyon of love.
So it's always one of those, just make sure you don't fall in the crack. And every now and again, especially if you're done playing or whatever, you can just kind of shove them back together. And so anyway, but it was hilarious because the other group that was playing near us, it was some of our good friends as well. And one of the ladies was basically like, I own this crack. And she just laid right across the middle and just kind of made sure that the beds didn't really separate or nobody fell in the crack. It was really great. It was good. And we played up there for quite a while, and it was lovely because especially when you get, 4 or more people together, you do kind of have just lots of kissing and lots of making out, and you can have all these people. It was fun when you have 3 people on one person kind of thing. So then it's 2 people get a boob each, and then somebody's down in between, and it's fun. And then there's always roaming hands and more people kissing above them, and it's really lovely. So it was good. It was a good crowd. The St. Andrew's Cross got some time.
Ooh.
There was one of the new girls, actually, she wanted to get on the cross. And I'm going to say she can take a lot of pain.
Wow.
I don't know that her limits were reached.
Wow.
So, it was quite good.
Cool.
And there was somebody else who gave really awesome massages. And it was basically anybody who wants a massage, it can go somewhere or it doesn't have to. Come on up.
Did you get one of the massage?
Yes.
I can see you now I'm going to sign up for one of those.
Well, she came up into the orgy room when we were all up there playing, and she announced the fact that she gives really great massages and who wants a massage, and everybody's hand went up. That seems like a silly question because we all do.
Because the answer is yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah. It was a really good night. We had a performance by Adam Apple.
I love Adam Apple.
I know.
I have such a crush on both Adam and Adam's alter ego.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a very, very good performance. So hopefully
if you don't follow the Recidivist on Instagram, you definitely should. She has amazing Yeah,
and
much love to her.
Hopefully we'll get her back for another Club V because that was fun.
She's one of my favorite performers. I just love her.
Yeah. Good crowd interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, I remember one of the first performances I ever saw her do. She was a werewolf. Mm-hmm. And that performance was awesome.
Yeah.
And then you start talking to her, and she's this wonderful human being that's very funny and clever and pretty on the inside and pretty on the outside. She's
Yeah, and this was so Adam Apple's her drag king
persona.
There we go. I was like, what word am I looking for?
I can see you were grasping it weird.
Yes. But so it's her drag king persona, and just so good.
Cool.
I love it. Yeah.
Awesome.
All in all, I'd say it was a really good Club V. Like I said,
That's
it was
good.
not as many people as some of the others, but it still, I think, went really well, and people seemed to really have a good time, and yeah. And there was a few people from out of town. So there was, I know, as far away as Brisbane, Melbourne. Again, long weekend, you get people coming in for the
Right,
holidays.
yeah.
So you catch some of those people. You may miss others who are leaving the city and going away. So it's a catch-22, trying to do it on the holiday weekend. But we thought we'd give it a go and see, and yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night because I flew in from Melbourne that night and came. I missed you. You had left already, and I got home, and I got home, and it was like, I don't know. I think I walked into the door. It was like 9:15. I was like, I want a massage, and I didn't want one of those like normal body rejuvenating massages. I wanted one of those nasty, like dirty hand job body to body massage. And so I was like, all right, looking around, counting all my money. I'm like, yeah, I got enough cash. I can do this. So I'm getting ready to walk out of the apartment, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Where am I going to go? And I'm looking at these places, and most of the places were closed. And I'm the nice guy. I don't want to go to a place like 20, 30 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes before they close, because I don't want to be that guy. And so I found the place here locally that was open till midnight. I'm like, cool. So I've got my keys in my pocket. I'm opening the door to leave the apartment. And I saw my VR, because I had recently purchased a Oculus Go. And I was like, well, I could go get a massage, or I could just watch like a lot of VR porn. And so basically I went back to the bedroom, stripped down, got some lube, got a cum rag, came back out to the living room, sat on the couch, butt ass naked, put the VR on. Like from outside of the VR, it was probably the saddest thing you've ever seen. Like, it's like, here's this 40-year-old man sitting naked on the couch, like, just like not even a bit of an erection at that time. I'm just a 40-year-old man sitting on a couch. And I've got the VR headset on, which makes it worse. I mean, it does. Nobody looks attractive with a VR headset on. Nobody. And, so I start watching the porn, and it was, again, I'm sure it was terrible. I did watch a massage. It was a great massage that I watched. And yeah, so I basically watched an hour and a half of VR porn.
That's awesome.
It was great.
You should have pulled out like the wand, so like the personal massager, and massaged your back while watching the massage one.
Yeah, it wasn't a back massage that the person was getting.
Well, that's not the fun part, no. But.
It started with them on their back.
Okay.
Yeah, so big fan of VR porn.
Yeah.
At some point we need to do a full review of that. But yeah, it was a good experience. I was much happier, and it was a lot less expensive because all the upfront cost of the Oculus
you already had it.
Yeah,
so.
was invested. So there you go.
So you had a good night as well. Yeah.
I was in bed by like 11:30, and I read for a little while, and then I fell asleep.
And you barely moved at all when I came in.
I was dead to the world. That was the first night. That was the second night in like 4.5 weeks that I'd spent in my bed. So I was happy to be in my bed.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Yeah. So we both had a lovely night.
We did. Yeah. So sometimes you need to have time apart.
Even though we'd already spent like a lot of time apart over the last few weeks.
It was still fun though.
Sure.
It was good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess then, we had the Easter long weekend, which was really lovely because you had been gone so much that you were actually home. Yes. So we basically spent the whole weekend at home, just a mixture of doing house stuff that needed to be done and just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. And yeah, it was just nice to have you home again.
It was nice to be home again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing we did talk about a few weeks back, we talked about your first trip to a sauna.
Yes.
So that's while we were in Melbourne, and then you went home, and we even talked about it. I was meant to go to Wet on Wellington on Monday.
That's right. Yes.
Right. And then I was going to go for their swinger night, and then I was going to go to Bay City Sauna again on Tuesday night to see their Tuesday night. And I was covered up and drowning in work, so I ended up not going on Monday to Wet, unfortunately. But I did go to Bay City on Tuesday took the tram all the way down there. If you're in Melbourne, you know that tram is like, I spent 45 minutes just standing on a moving tram.
Ugh.
Their trams are packed. But it was, it dropped me off literally right in front of Bay City, so that was nice. Mm-hmm. And I got there at, I think the whole party started at 7:30, and I was texting. If you remember, we had M and Q. Mm-hmm. I'd texted M and told him that I would be there at 7:31, and literally I walked up those stairs at 7:31, and he goes,
awesome.
"You're so early." I was like, "Dude, I just want to chit chat and be social, have a couple of drinks with you guys. I'm not here to play. It's going to be an early night." And so,
famous last words.
I know, right? And so I sat down at the bar and talked to him and Q, and it was very funny because both separately were like, "Why are you here so early? The party doesn't start until like 10 o'clock." And I was like, honestly, guys, at 10 o'clock, this ass is going to be going home. Like, I'm exhausted. I just wanted to come and be social and see you guys again and chit chat. And we had some wonderful conversations about like party games and things, and maybe getting By the By involved in one of their nights. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned, Melbourne. We may be down there yet. And the people, some folks started coming in, and I was chatting with anybody who came in. I was having a conversation with. But the long and short of it is, I started talking to this beautiful drag queen and then another lady in drag. But there's a difference. There's drag queens, mm-hmm. and then there are women in drag, mm-hmm. and yeah, so it was like both of them were wonderful human beings, just so funny, and she was cracking me up. Well, at one point we started talking about, somehow it came out that I'm a bottom. And she goes, "Oh, honey, you're useless to me." That drag queen. But she was like, "But you're pretty, so I'm going to continue talking to you." And for the record, all of my accents for her are going to sound like she's from New York, because in my head, she was little Australian, little German, but yeah, in my head, she came out as if she was a New Yorker, because that was the attitude that she had. Right. And it was just so funny. She's like, "You're useless to me. You're useless." She's like, "But you're pretty. Let's perv on guys." And so it was so much fun talking to them and laughing, and they were, very just wonderful people, easy to talk to. It ended up being a fun night. I again kept all of my clothes on, but it was a very fun night, even though I was useless to both of these ladies. Both of them, when I was getting ready to leave, were like, "Are you sure you're not going to stay and play?" "I'm sure, but thank you." So it was a good night. And then a few hours later, I just, like I said, I packed up and I was like, "I'm leaving." And M and Q were like, "Oh, boo. But the party's just starting." And it was starting to ramp up, I will say. But I'm just amazed at how, the diversity of the people that go to the saunas when they do the mixed gender nights. Mm-hmm. It's impressive. Both age, race, gender. There's a lot of variety. That's good. That's exciting. There was at least 3 single women mm-hmm. there, unicorns. Mm-hmm. And everybody was very nice, very friendly. If you tried to talk to somebody, they would talk to you. And I was feeling a little like, at most of the night, I was a little more insular and not chatting with a lot of new people. I didn't get an opportunity to say no to the drag queens. They wouldn't let me say no. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun chatting with them.
That's awesome. I love it. It sounds like it was a good night.
It was. It was a good night.
Especially when you get such a diverse crowd. And they could be such fun people watching.
Absolutely. And it's definitely one of those things that if I were in Melbourne again and had the opportunity to go, I would go. And M was telling me, he's like, "You definitely need to come on a Thursday night. If you ever get an opportunity to be here on a Thursday." Okay. He's like, it's even more, I think he was saying that on Thursday nights, it's more bi men, gay men, mm-hmm. and then couples. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was good. It was a good experience. We'll see the next time I'm down. I'm gonna. It's funny. I may start not going to the subway anymore. I may ended up just going to go down there and see what's happening. which I guess the next night I ended up going to the subway sauna. It was it's like, again, it was relatively quick. I just wanted to go walk around, see what was there. Yeah, and it was funny. I did something that I very rarely do, which is allow myself to get picked up by somebody who just wanted to please me. And typically I'm more of a, let's play together. And he just wanted to like go to town on me, and I was like, all right, cool. And so it's like,
this sounds easy.
This is easy. I'm just gonna lay here. And that's basically what I did.
Nice.
And he was happy, and I was happy, and then I went home and went to bed.
That sounds like a win-win.
And I was even happier. So yeah. It was an all right week. It was not bad. 3 saunas in 4 days.
I was going to say, lots of sauna time.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And different saunas as well, so it's not like you're going back to the same one.
Well, 2 different saunas.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Because we went to Bay City on Saturday, and
fair enough.
Well, I guess 3 saunas in 5 days, because that was Saturday night, and then Sunday, Monday, I didn't do anything. Tuesday and Wednesday, I did. So yeah.
So many saunas. So little time.
I know. It's true. It's true.
So let's talk about when you did get home. And you were saying that because you'd been traveling so much, you'd been away from your tribe, your people, you'd been away from your friends, you'd been away from home for a long time.
Yes.
And a relatively long time. And, you know, we have group chats and you can talk to people and that kind of thing. And there's little bits here and there, but it's not the same as really kind of going out, hanging out with people, going to the club, that type of thing. And so you came home, and I think the word that you used, but I think is really good, but you said you felt disconnected from the community and kind of from our circle a bit. And I think that was a good way to describe it. And I think that like Easter weekend, when you came back, that was right after you got back. And I think that was really good for us because we had a lot of reconnection time.
Yeah.
And that was really nice to have that. But at the same time, we didn't really go out. We didn't do a lot. We didn't get to the swingers club or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I think you've been kind of getting back into that a little bit more and more. Like the first time back at the club for you was this past Friday night. We went to
my first time in 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and we went to the uniform night, which was really great. We'll have to put up a picture of that because you had this great camo mesh shorts and top that you'd gotten at Eagle Leather and your camo jacket. And it looked really good on you. It was very nice.
Thanks.
But yeah, that was your first time back at the club in a very long time. And I could tell going in that you weren't 100% in the headspace for it. You were a little hesitant.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of like, I want to go and I want to see Jess and Lawrence and I want to hang out with people. But I could tell that you weren't 100%. Do I really want to meet people, play with other people? I don't think you were quite feeling it going in. But that seemed to shift, I feel like, pretty quickly once you got there.
Yeah, it's funny because I still feel like I'm not 100% back to me, which is weird. And it's hard to really kind of qualify and quantify. So I think anybody who knows our Twitter presence would say that in the past 6 weeks, that presence has gone down. I've been a little more active on Instagram and a lot less active on Twitter. And it's just, I think it's really hard to explain. It's just that the interactions that I was getting both on like Twitter and then through our group chats and whatnot mostly ended up making me feel more isolated, alone, and hollow. And that's why I think a lot of our friends in the group chats, we're very lucky. I'm very lucky in that the friends that we have tend to understand how I am. I'm very particular in the way I communicate. And I go from these moments of feast and famine where you either hear from me 20 times in an hour or you don't hear from me in days. And it's mostly you are that constant, 3 to 5 times a day. Every day you can expect 3 to 5 bursts of of Angela communication. And sometimes I'll read them and I want to respond. I just can't make myself do it.
You don't have the energy.
And I feel guilty over that. But again, I know like some of our closest friends in the community, and the ones that like who are coming down for the podcast meet and mingle, and then are some of our subsequent trips with them. You know, they know that once we're all together, I'll be me, but it's hard for me to do that digitally. And I think I saw a lot of things on Twitter that, again, it all felt empty, and it all felt like it's like a support of straws, if that makes sense. You know, it's an extremely, I'm using air quotes here, supportive community, but it doesn't take much to break that down. It's not there's not a lot of weight and depth to a lot of it. And I don't mean, I'm not attacking anybody.
No, and there's always exceptions.
And there's always exceptions, of course. But it just felt like, I felt like everything was hollow. And it may just be my perception. But that sort of was weighing on me. And then it's just not seeing people consistently, and then dealing with family things and stuff like that. And all of it just kept heavier and heavier. And then when I got home, I still, like I said, I don't feel 100% me yet. There are moments where definitely I'm 100% me, but I can tell, like, even the way I'm sleeping, I'm not sleeping the same that I was before I went away. And it's really frustrating, and it's very difficult to have this sort of mental issue where there is no issue, but you know it's not the same as it once was.
Yeah, and I think for you, a lot of it is that you do, I'm going to say, need and crave that personal interaction and being close to people physically, touching them face to face, that you value a lot.
Yeah.
And just having been gone for travel, and it's because you were gone for weekends, and it's not like you were gone for the week, home for the weekend kind of thing, but you were just kind of gone consistently. And so I think not having that face-to-face time, not having that personal interaction, that's what really drew you out and kind of made you feel a bit more distant from everything. And even just the little bit that you've been home and the little bit that we've gotten out, going to the club on Friday. Spoiler, we had a date on Sunday afternoon as well. We may get to that. We'll see. But, seeing you in those instances, it was like you were kind of getting back to yourself again. And it was good to see that. And especially some of your interactions, like with Lawrence and Jess. And I know you really, really missed them.
Yeah.
And so just having that time again, even kind of brief and sparse as it may be here and there throughout the night, I could see some of, like, your spark was coming back. And that it was really good to see that. But it is hard to rekindle that and keep it going after it's been dampened for a while.
Well, it's interesting because, like, and you're right, I do feel like I'm on a dimmer switch, and it's just, I'm not nearly as bright as I once was. And it's just like, I hate that because I'm like, I don't feel like this is me, although I know it is. Does that make sense? But yeah, and I can even see, like, even when I had visited the Bedhoppers in London, I had not been away from home that long, but it had been, a week and a half. And I was already sort of kind of withdrawing where I wasn't touching people as much. Both for their protection, not to make them feel uncomfortable, and my protection, not to, sexual harassment laws. But, and it was very funny because Mr. H at one point looked at me and was like, I said something about that. And he was like, man, you can touch me. He goes, I'm straight, but I'm a touchy guy too, so it's okay. And it's like, all right, cool. And so that helped a little. But then again, when I was in the U.S. with family, it's just like that pressure of conformity. And it was that, I think that was that thing that sort of really dampened a lot, was that time in the States where I really did feel like I had to, I don't know, tone myself down,
pull in, rein in,
yeah. Which is rare for me because I am very much I'm not going to change for anybody, but without fuel, it's hard for me to be me. And that fuel, I think what I'm learning is it is that tribe, it's the people. And coming home, and getting to spend, some time with you and the gentleman
Yeah.
over the long weekend, that was definitely exactly what I needed. And I remember over the long weekend, at one point, we had the guest couch pulled out. We had a bunch of friends stay with us one night, and after everybody left, it was you, the gentleman, and he and I fell asleep on the floor, kind of cuddling each other. And I think you were on the couch either watching TV, or I think we had YouTube videos, which will be the death of me for sure. But I do love my YouTube. That was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. It's just that bit of quiet time, again, with your people, with your tribe, but everybody can just be themselves. There's no pressure. There's no expectation.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a huge difference as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still working on trying to be back to bubbly Bradford, but it's more slightly simmery Bradford right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say your dimmer switch is getting brighter.
Yeah,
but
I feel it's funny because I can feel it's better, but at the same time, I know I still don't feel like me.
Yeah.
Which is not what that's frustrating.
that'll come.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm impatient.
but it does take time when you get back into things and kind of get back to normal life and whatever normal is. But to kind of get back into that and get out and we're trying to do our normal social thing and whatnot.
Right.
But again, it's just getting all the scheduling together. So yeah, but it's interesting. It's interesting how something like that can have such a big impact.
It is, and I'm still, it's funny because I still think about it. I'm like, I'm surprised that it of course things like this I overthink it and it worries me. I'm like, oh great, is this a codependency? I feel like I should be able to be me without anyone else around, but it is a lot harder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because being an only child, I think that that I am me with nobody else around. But that me is a lot quieter. Mm-hmm. When I'm not with my group, I am very quiet, and I'm not the person that goes up to people and talks to them. I'm the person that is very happy going to a bar, sitting down with my laptop and writing. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I think the writer is the great introverted extrovert. You want people to read what you're creating, but at the same time, you're completely insular.
Yeah.
And you're not going out there actively. So I am very much that. Like when I'm traveling, I'm very happy just to sit in a corner, mm-hmm. just keep bringing me drinks, and then I'll just sit in the corner and create. But with my group, I'm very much the loud one, the jokester, the one that's constantly kind of poking, prodding, and laughing. Mm-hmm. But I'm not like that when I'm by myself, which I think is really weird. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I can see it though.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Does it?
Well, yes, because when you're by yourself, I mean, if you were like sitting in the corner with your laptop and doing the joking, laughing thing, that would seem a little kind of crazy.
That's not what I meant, though. It's
no, I know what you mean.
You're not actively going out trying to make new connections.
Yeah.
You're happy with not having any connections.
But sometimes you need that downtime. Because if you're always on, and I guess that's, the line between extrovert and introvert, and that spectrum is, depends on where you are along there, is for some people, they can go out all the time and always be on, and it's no problem. And then for other people, you can do that for a while, but then you need downtime. You need to recharge a bit. And so it's, where do you get that recharging from?
Yeah. But I think that typically when I'm with my group, I don't need that recharge time. Or it doesn't take as much time to recharge.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the date on Sunday?
Sure. It was great.
Well, that was that. All right.
Next.
Done. No, so this was actually a really good example of a couple that we had met at the club ages ago. We'd met them at the club and talked to them for quite a while the first night. And then it was a little while before we saw them again, and they were back, and we talked to them more that night. We had some other friends that were at the club that night, so we were all kind of sitting around in a little group. And at some point, we went upstairs to go play, and they came and joined us. Mm-hmm. And they were still pretty new to things, so we weren't really sure
what their comfort level was.
Right, exactly where their comfort level was, how much they wanted to do, and so we're very cautious and trying to invite them and include them in, but at the same time you don't want to push people too far, or they inadvertently push themselves too far not knowing it until the next day when they look back. So we're kind of cautious about that, but had really lovely time playing with them, and they're both really nice people, very lovely inside and out, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So then afterwards they messaged us, and this was months ago.
Yeah.
And so they messaged us afterwards, and they don't live too far from us, so we're like, oh yeah, we should definitely meet up for drinks and whatever. And life gets in the way. We couldn't meet up. Then all the travel started happening. We definitely couldn't meet up. And
it's really hard for me to come down for drinks when I'm in Europe.
Yeah. But it was one of those examples of somebody who fortunately was interested enough to be persistent, because every now and again we get a message and just like, hey, are you still keen to meet up whenever we can? Knowing that it may not be like that week or whatever. And so we'd always message back, and yes, definitely, let's see if we can set up a time, around this, that, or whatever. And so we kind of just kept it going little by little, a message here and there. And finally we were able to get schedules together to meet up on Sunday afternoon. And admittedly, being a Sunday afternoon, you and I, we weren't really sure, is this going to be like a couple of hour thing?
Right.
Is it going to go into the evening?
You really never know, and especially with us. I mean, look, it can be like 2 hours with 4 drinks and we're done. It could be like a 12-hour, like, let's paint the town red.
Yeah. Yes, we weren't really sure going into it what to expect, and we hadn't really discussed with them what their expectations were from it. So I have no idea. Still haven't really asked them what that might have been, so I don't know.
And we didn't do that when we walked in. It was just
No.
sort of like, hey, let's just chit chat, and
Yeah.
that's basically
Yeah, so yeah, we met at a bar and had a few drinks and chatted and talked to them, and then the bar started up some live music, so we went to a little bit quieter space so we could continue talking, because while we really liked the live music, we were right in front of the speaker, so it was really loud. So yeah, we kind of moved back so we could continue talking and chatting, and we were all having such a good time. Then we went to dinner and continued on then. Being a school night, though, we did not go back and play. Mwah, mwah.
wah, wah.
But there hopefully will be time in the future if they're keen. Yeah.
I really hope they're keen.
So yeah, but I'm really glad. It was a really lovely date, and I think it was good for us to have one-on-one time with the couple again, because it has been quite a while since we've really had that. Really been on dates much at all, just with everything that's been happening.
Yeah.
So.
And it's funny. I think it's fascinating how your mental space will change as well on what you're looking for out of the lifestyle. So, like, if you had asked me 8 months ago, I would have definitely been like, I'd rather not do one-on-one dates with couples. I want to go to the club. Mm-hmm. I want to go to the club. And now I'm sort of like, I really love going to the club, but I actually would rather go on a one-on-one date with a couple and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that will change again, and I'll go back to Club Bradford.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
right now, I'm in that like, oh, I love going to the club, but what I want to do is on a one-on-one level connect.
Right.
And so maybe that goes back to the headspace thing, but
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun just chit-chatting and laughing and flirting on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It was a lot of fun. So I think that was good for us to kind of get out and both have that one-on-one date, and also to catch up with them again. And I'm really glad again that they were as patient as they were. So we'll have to not let it now be several more months before we meet up again. But that's okay. It won't be. We'll make it happen.
Definitely.
But yeah, it is interesting how you say that, we've kind of gone through times where we really just want to go to the club all the time, and then times where we want more personal dates. And I think it is a headspace thing, a schedule thing, just kind of what's going on in life. And I think finding a balance between those is kind of a good thing to do, and something we should probably work on.
It's also difficult. It's hard to
Yeah.
do that. It's hard to find that balance. Because I know there were weeks that we would be at the club 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. And now it's the idea of going 3 nights in a row is sort of like, well, I would enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But oof, that sounds like work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So again, I'm sure that will change.
Yeah.
So I guess the other big thing that we did over the last little bit was at Krylon.
Oh,
we
yeah.
took a class on Saturday, and if you follow us on the Instagrams, it was part of our story, and I think I posted one of the pictures to Twitter, or you did,
Yeah, I think
of the
this-
final picture. But we took a class in drag makeup.
It was so much fun. So we went into it. It's one of those things, of course, we've talked about for a long time. And we finally just got it on the calendar, got it scheduled to do it. And we both wanted to do it because I thought it would be interesting to learn how to do drag makeup just on its own. Is just really kind of fascinating. And there's also a lot of techniques that we could use for different costume things that we do, stage performances, that type of thing. And so that's kind of what we wanted to get out of it.
Also, I wanted to look pretty.
Yes, you did look very pretty at
I
the
know,
end.
I did. Yeah, it was 6 hours long. And
Yeah.
honestly, I was like, we're going to have time to do it twice. Holy
Wait.
shit, there's a lot of steps.
Yeah. I know that when I see a drag queen that they've put a lot of work into the
Oh,
makeup
clearly.
and a lot of time.
Clearly.
That's very clear.
Yes.
But like you said, there are so many steps. And I was taking notes and writing things down. And I guess at some point you do it enough that, it becomes second nature. But holy crap, like starting out as a baby queen, how do you keep all the steps straight? And how do you know what to do when?
It's really, yeah, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, I took a lot of pictures along the way. I didn't take notes because, admittedly, I knew you were taking notes. I was
Yeah.
like, sweet, someone else is being responsible. And then we ended up spending way too much money in makeup because apparently we both think we're going to be drag queens. And
Well, no, a lot of the stuff that we did get in makeup, actually, we have plans for costumes we're going to use
True,
it for.
I know.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it was hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. But it was really good to learn as well when you do fuck things up, how to correct it.
And that you can correct it.
Yes.
Because there was a couple of times I was like, fuck this, I'm just going to wash my face off and start again.
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. But you just keep layering and building and growing. And at some point, you have so much makeup on your forehead that you look like Worf from Star Trek Next Generation. But that's all right. You can still do it.
That's okay. You can fix that.
You can fix that. You can fix that. We'll just buff that right out. It was so much fun. And so the class was done at Krylon. And if you have ever seen one of my favorite television shows ever, Face Off, which was a show on Sci-Fi where they did competitive special effects makeup.
Yeah.
It was sponsored by Krylon. And what's funny is, like, one of the things you would win is $100,000 worth of Krylon makeup, which clearly is like, I don't know, a palette of eyeshadow and a couple of lipsticks and some brushes. That's all you got. But it's and then you got to teach Krylon classes. Well, the classes, or Krylon in Sydney, is just off Oxford Street, and like the heart of Queen City. And the class was done by a drag queen named April Fools, who was adorable and
So patient.
so patient.
Yeah.
And so he kept coming over because he wasn't in drag. He was doing his makeup on a model.
Yes.
But he would come over and talk to everybody, and he gave everybody, so much time, and like, let me help you, and let's do this,
Yeah.
and don't worry about it, or oh my god, that looks great, and
Yeah, it was such a great way to learn.
it was such a great experience to do. That honestly, if they did other classes, I think they do a beauty makeup class that I would love to do. I
They
think
do
that'd
a
be
few other classes.
so
yeah.
much fun to do, either find somebody to go with that I could do the makeup on, or you, because I think you should also try to do the makeup on yourself, but we need another female that I can go and do beauty makeup on. So if we have any volunteers,
Pretty sure we can find someone.
I think that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot.
And it was interesting to see the others in the class and who was there for what reasons, and because it's not all people wanting to learn how to do drag makeup because they want to be a drag queen. There was really a big variety of reasons. And I mean, just like us, we were there to both learn how to do drag makeup in and of itself, but also then to apply those principles to stage makeup and some of the things that we do for costumes and things. And so, yeah, and some people were there to learn for beauty makeup techniques and things as well. So yeah, it was really good just to see the variety and interact with different people within the class. We definitely learned a lot, and I will say that while their makeup is expensive, it's also good quality because my skin did not break out at all from it.
I know, right?
Even though there's like 5 billion layers.
5 billion layers and basically glue stick in your eyebrows. I don't understand any of it, but yeah, I'm excited to try it again. One of these, like one weekend, I want us just to let's see if we can make ourselves drag queens at home.
Yeah.
We'll make homegrown drag queens.
That sounds awesome.
And we'll get the gentleman over and make him...
I was going to say, we'll make him a
drag queen as well.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And looking at it, there was a few things I thought, I could use this for other things. So really excited. Really looking forward to being able to use it at Desire.
I was going to say, some of it'll be at Desire.
Yeah. So although I know it's going to take a couple hours to put on and an hour to take off, I'm very tempted to go full drag for the Kings and Queens night. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if
you make that commitment.
What I need to do is time myself at home and see how long it takes me.
And if you practice, you'll get faster.
Yeah, but I mean, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, according to April Fools, my eyebrows have to be perfect.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. Well, they were.
They were hideous. My eyebrows were hideous.
They were at one point in time, but you corrected them and they got a lot better.
It's because I kept layering. It's like I looked like Worf. Hoopla!
It really was. It was such a fun day. It was a long day, but it was fun.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
I think we went from 11 till 2:30 without a break.
Well, it's 6 hours, but then you only get like a 20-minute break. Yeah. So, yeah.
It was great, though.
Yeah, it was.
Well worth the money. It was expensive, but well worth the money.
Yeah.
And I can foresee us using it in the future.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I learned a lot that'll be really helpful.
So what we need to do is get really good at it, and then we can do YouTube videos. how to do drag.
Right. I don't foresee us doing that.
I don't either, but it'd be funny to try.
This is how you don't do it.
Drag fail. Drag fail.
Oh my god.
Whoops. Put my elbow in bubble wrap.
Ooh, we're going to start making popping sounds.
Yeah. What's it called? Is it ASMR?
What?
The new trend where people are yelling at me now. I can hear them. Where it's like you watch people do stuff or you listen to sounds and it's supposed to make you like really relaxed and like one of them is listening to someone cut soap or something like that. And it's all these sounds like it's almost the sound itself is tactile.
Oh, okay.
I think, is it ASMR?
I have no idea.
So I'm quickly going to the Google box and I'm searching for ASMR.
See what Google box says.
Autonomous sensory meridian response. That's it. So, experience characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation on the skin that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine. So it's because you hear things and it makes you feel all tingly.
Yeah.
And it's like some great percentage of the population get this feeling from sounds. And I think one of them is like...
the crinkling?
Yeah. And then we'll do the...
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch the spikes.
I think that's enough.
Okay, fine.
We don't need like 50 seconds of you popping bubbles.
You know, there's somebody who's listening to this going, "Shut up, Angela, we need 50 minutes of him." You know.
Well, they can take the little snippet and loop it.
Fine. If you did take that snippet and loop it, please let us know. I need to know. I need to know I made you happy.
I can do it for you. I can if you want it.
I wonder if anybody has like an ASMR response to like masturbating sounds. Or maybe Yoda. Tingle your spine, it will.
God.
You know why it's like Yoda? Because he's on your back and he's like breathing down your neck, and you're just like,
And that's what causes the tingle?
yeah, because you feel it down your neck because he's breathing down it. It's tingling all your little hairs. Okay, should we wrap this up?
I think so.
Because I can do.
But
I have like a million other sounds I can make if you want. I'm just saying. I'm the Michael Winslow of this podcast.
All right, we'll make a catalog of them all, and then we'll just have one episode where we go through all these different sounds.
Bradford plays with a beer can. Okay. Yeah, so if you liked the ASMR portion of our podcast, please let us know. We'll make it a constant thing. It'll be a challenge to find sexual ASMR things,
Yeah.
licking an eyeball.
Okay, yeah.
Send us an email, theatomsoflove@gmail.com, or you can message us on any of our social media accounts. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. On all of those, we are at By the By Podcast. You can also find us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/bytheby. Is it By the By Podcast, or is it just By the By?
By the By Podcast.
There you go. See, I don't even know. Angela is currently working on revamping our website. If you missed it on Patreon last week, I think, we posted our threesome with the gentleman. You can ASMR your ass to that one and listen to it. That was pretty good. Listen to the buzzing sounds of us as we torture the gentleman with a violet wand.
Neon wand.
I said violet wand and meant neon wand with a neon wand.
I mean, they're similar.
A little electricity on your balls. It's all right. So
It's fun.
It's fun. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
love it.
It's
No,
great.
I said fun.
Well, you would love it. You don't have balls.
I know, but I love to do it to you.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then we made the sexy sounds. So send us a message. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll get back to you. We've got a lot of emails that we need to return.
I know.
So
I'm trying to get to those.
All right.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm Dylan Thomas, co-host of Life on the Swing Set, the podcast. We share our experiences in swinging, polyamory, and beyond. You're listening to a Swing Set Network podcast at swingset.fm.